Hi Kat, this is Adrian here. I'm just going to go over the sectional sheet that I will have scanned and included in the attachment of your email. It's pretty self-explanatory. I put a tempo of 66 per measure just because the opening of the mauler is at that tempo, but feel free to lower it, and I would definitely use a metronome at the beginning stages of rehearsing. It'll just keep them on track and give them a pulse as they're trying to figure out their left hand. So we're going to start off with scale D minor. Of course, this will be a new pattern for them with the low 2 and the low 1, but I would start off with just whole notes, going for as even as a sound as possible, etc. Numbers 2 and 3 are self-explanatory. Number 3, there's a possibility that they can use 4 instead of 1, and just getting that distance between 4 and low 1. I'm looking at the scale. Number 3, that pattern is from, of course, which is helpful for them. Let's see what else. Okay, number 7 is a bit less obvious, so I'm just going to go through that exercise. So if you look at the first exercise, we're just going to do the first 3 notes. Shift, and then down. And of course you can do that slower, and I would repeat it several times just so that they're framing their hands correctly, and then I would go on to the next one. Two. And then of course repeat, just do it in a loop. And basically you keep on going up until you reach the top note, of course. But in this case, the 1-to-1, that half step shift is extremely important to make sure that they find themselves in second position. Number 8 is actually the melodic contour that they'll be using. I've circled the most difficult parts, especially the skip that they have to do into second position from D to F. So if they're going from here, and then they're just basically doing finger replacement and then going back down. Let's see, finger replacements at number 9. And pizzicato will probably be the easiest, so that they don't have to worry about their bow at this point, so that they're going... The first bar is actually just to get them set into second position, and then... However slow, you need to do that in order for them to understand that. And then of course eventually they'll pluck it like that so that they understand the framing of the left hand. Okay, so I'm hoping to give a little bit of homework to the first violins after the first sectionals, if you don't get to it. So like number 5, an octave up, these are just finger replacements that were done in the original exercise number 5. So it goes 1, 3, and then replace with 2, and just repeating that. And the point is just to make sure that they're understanding the skip from skip to 2. Of course, the spacing between 2, 3, 4 afterwards is going to be quite challenging, and I'm thinking that they'll probably just need to use their ears, or just get used to that extension, which can be difficult if they're not set up properly with their left hand. Number 11, this is just harmonic. And this is just to do the first violin's sorry, I'm just going to go back. So harmonic here, open, 1. And of course they can go to the harmonic here. But for the early stages you can keep them at 1 afterwards. The scale octave up, this will be in the second sectional for the first violins. Half step here. Crossover low 2. So forth and so on. That can be a bit of a challenge. So I'm hoping that I gave you adequate time to address that in the second sectional. Same finger pattern for number 8, but this is for the second violin. Now you're going to go shift 2, 2, which will be a shift that they probably won't need in the actual piece, but it's always good to get them to understand those relationships again. Number 12 is just getting them to understand the smoothness of the bow so that when you're actually doing this, that's all smooth. You'll notice too, I'm keeping my first finger down for the octave as soon as I reach for it, so planted, and then just crossing over with 4, keeping my first finger down. So I'm not sure how long any of that will take, but you can certainly go further on in the piece if you need. There are certain sections in terms of bow distribution right here. That can be addressed. But we're probably going to try to get as far as the end of the second theme, which should allow them to learn all the notes. The violas, I will give you a handout in alto clef, and hopefully that'll be enough work for them in those 2 sectionals that each of them have. So I want to thank you again for taking over for sectionals, and I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. Happy New Year!